GameCamp event, and it is somehow a great honor for me to open this event and to give you the main instructions what to do and how. Well, actually, that started now almost 3 or 4 years ago, and it started in Helsinki. In Finland, we met together 3 organizations: Aalto University, Latvian Technological Center, and Cursor. We had a crazy idea that let's try to have a project, especially for game industry, for game developers, and the goal of the project was at that time, and still it is now, to create new international cross-border companies. And these 4 years ago, when this idea was first generated, we decided to go for the Interreg project, Central Baltic Interreg project, and that's how we are succeeding now, and that's why these game camps are now taking place. The first game camp was beginning of this year, the end of April, beginning of the May, it was in Tallinn, and now this is the second game camp, it is in Riga. According to project application, we must have, as I said before, 4 game camps, and we are usually trying to select these game camps in the large cities, in large areas, so that more and more participants can take place. And to have more participants, we are of course working with local key stakeholders, with multipliers. In Latvia's case, we are working with Latvian Game Developer Association, with Elvis Strasdiņš, very strong association and very well developed association in Latvia.
You got away from your families, from schools, from your work for 48 hours. Please use them to enjoy the game development. Maybe you will not win, probably, but some of you will. For those of you who don't, please use everything that game camps give to you. So it's a 48-hour game development competition. They have 48 hours to make a game, maybe a game of their dream that they always wanted to make. And they got away from their families, schools, work, everything for 48 hours. And that's a great opportunity to make their dream come true. That's also a good relaxation. You just come here, sit down, program, draw, make sound, compose music for the game, and then put it all together and present it in the final event.
We have created this web page, we are inviting then these participants are registering there in this web page, then we are of course validating their profiles, do they satisfy our project goals, are their competencies enough, and after that they are allowed to start pitching their ideas in online platform, building up the teams. After that, of course, the game camp event.
So game camps. I think one of the biggest sins in life is wasting time. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like the game jamming idea so much. Because we are not here to waste time. Like every hour counts. Everything we do, we have 48 hours, we need to build something great.
I've been working with game jams since 2010. And I just I fell in love with the concept that you are working with like one game 48 hours straight. It's really effective. Thinking about, okay, you can do like prototyping, like 3 months or so, but now you're just like pushing yourself on the like limits. You get like people from the different fields, put it in the same room, and after 48 hours you're gonna see if this game is like good enough. We start a business from that, and that's why we are handing tools for the teams.
Hi, my name is Alex Porchik. I was born right here in Riga. I've moved away about 10 years ago, been traveling the world and making games. So today I want to talk to you about finding indie success. I want to talk a little bit about what TinyBuild is and how we started, about how we transformed into a publisher, and how at an event that happened, I think 40 years ago, a very similar event happened in Ukraine where we found a game that eventually went on to sell 500,000 copies. This game's called Party Hard. It's like this logo right here. You may have seen it. You can check it out on Steam Spy to verify that I'm not lying. You see, the games industry, it used to be this closed club for 40 years. And up until 5 years ago, it was still that. Like, you couldn't get into games. You would have to go to a large AAA company. You would have to apply like to QA and then make your way up. 5 years ago, everything changed. When Steam started opening up, when consoles started opening up, so did the tools. So now we have Unreal Engine, Unity, and dozens of other smaller engines out there. So suddenly, everyone was able to make games. Everyone was able to distribute them. And we had this indie renaissance happen, which started with Super Meat Boy, and everyone watched Indie Game the movie. I run a publishing company, so we're a video games publisher. I have a lot of experience publishing and producing games that have been incepted at GameCamps at similar events. So we have 2 projects that each has sold over 500,000 copies. And they were incepted during 48 hours at an event like this and became really popular. Game jams are an easy way to check validity of ideas, because if you can make something that's fun and do it really, really fast, you can only add on more polish to make it the final product. Or if it doesn't work, you have only spent 48 hours. What you should not be doing today is going to a publisher, asking for millions of dollars, spending 3 years in a closed room developing the game and then hoping that it sticks. That no longer works. You need to be much more open today, because the fans are what dictate what's popular. And the fans are really interested to know how games are made. If you look at Steam reviews, everyone is a game expert today, which is fun but also scary.
The game industry is based on producing the best experiences to the players, actually. So it's all about who is able to capture the player and have them come back and play the game over and over again. So that's the kind of the basis for the business. Nowadays, especially in mobile games, marketing has become more and more important. So if you think about the big players like for instance Supercell, they spend millions and millions of dollars in user acquisition and marketing. So it's shifted quite a bit, and there are these like huge success stories. But then again, there are still these very, very small independent studios that make their own games. There are platforms that you can publish these games on, and these small indie studios still manage to get enough players to make these small studios also success stories.
Okay, I was one of the winning teams in Tallinn, the last game camp. And I just have one tip, and that is that this is not like regular game jams where the most important thing is to get as much code done in as little time as possible. It's more about the concept. Bring on a concept that in some way is special and has some kind of potential. Not just do a game that's fun. Try to think, as Vesico, try to think one step further. That's my tip for winning this game.
Excellent, that was very nice.
Yep.
And what I'd like to add, you're all making a game, this 48 hours, but also make someone play that game. Don't just make it.
I think there are so many people creating games nowadays. And of course, most of these people want to be able to get food on the table. But there are also a lot of people that only make games because they think it's fun. And sometimes those games are extremely successful. Like Minecraft, I think he only wanted to make a cool game. He didn't really know that he was going to earn any money on it, and that's obviously one of the biggest games ever made.
Time to start pitching the ideas. Pitchman.
So how it will go on? You have 2 minutes. Please tell the name of the game that you intend to make. Tell about the game, what it will be like, maybe with some examples of the games already in the market, and then what people you need. Like, I need one programmer, I need one artist or sound guy or something like that. So yeah, who wants to start?
Game developers come from all of these countries involved in the project, so Sweden, Finland, Latvia and Estonia, form teams around these game ideas. So each participant here has been selected among the applicants, and then they pitch their game idea and see who gets interested in these game ideas. And that way the teams are formed out of interest and not like forced.
Yeah, hey guys, we are pitching our game called Grim Souls. So imagine Terry Pratchett meeting Match 3.
Yeah, so the idea is a fast-paced, darkly comical, real-time competitive match 3 game where you and your competition as Grim Reapers are competing over the souls of soon-to-die heroes. And this is to advance your career in the Grim society.
Hello everybody, my name is Sigrid. I'm 22 years old and from Sweden. I have a background in game design and programming, but recently I worked as peer manager and production assistant. So I know a little bit about everything, but I need a lot of help. So I'm here because I want to make a game that will educate the people about the changes in the Baltic Sea. There are 9 countries around the Baltic Sea and 4 of them are here today.
I like games. I've always liked games. I played it from when I was really small, and I have an older brother, so I usually just sat down next to him and just watch him play until I got old enough. And I started studying something totally different, and then I realized, hey, I can do something fun for a living, so I should try it out, and I just loved it from the start. For this team, I'm taking on the role as a producer. I'm trying to structure everything and make something happen in this short amount of time. The game is a third-person dungeon crawler. At the moment, the setting is you're a weird scientist and you're created a portal to another dimension with a lot of creatures and monsters. So you have to find your way out to see the portal back to our dimension.
Just happened.
Yeah. Really need to fix that. No, actually, that's not what I want. What I wanted was...
I think I became a game designer because I want to change the world. I think I can do things with games. I think I could help kids learn new things, and I can make games that are very serious and have heavy topics and start a discussion. I think it's time for games to take another step and become more than just for fun. So that's why I'm in this industry.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Hi, I'm from Estonia. My name is Tristan, and I like dark and gory games. And the main question of my game is, where would you be in this room? Where's the most safest place when the killer enters? Or some kind of lunatic with a baseball bat. And that's basically it. I want to make a game where you have to place your character somewhere, then a killer enters and starts killing.
I like the concept of shock. I've always been a fan of horror games, horror movies, and kind of things that crawl into your soul and make you feel some disturbance.
Well, the setting could be some kind of public space like train station or school or museum, and your point is to survive.
The name of the game?
Who dies last?
We know there has been many school shootings or whatever. Bad things happen all the time, and maybe it makes you think that it's better to hide than run around cluelessly. I mean, the idea was that I was traveling here with my Estonian friend, and I was in the bus, and I suddenly thought that where I should be to be the last guy living if someone with a freaking gun enters the bus.
Do you know what the script is?
For now it's a hobby, but more and more I have been into the gaming business as a sound guy mostly.
You came to this event looking for what?
For fun. For fun and experience. It's like really good therapy. Lots of people with the same interest come into one room and lots of magic happens. That's the most important reason for me. It's a very inspiring environment.
You go to the voucher back, and the vouchers are green days, and you are
Yeah, but if you want only free souls, that's like
I thought something maybe somehow as well.
We can work with it. I tried to be a protein developer in the last we got second place. I didn't do much protein developing because
my name is Ivars. I represent the team The Minion. We changed the game's name, by the way. It's now a Warmonger. It will be a tactical RPG game. The main idea is that you are the champion that rules the army of minions, and you are fighting other champions for influence in the cities. There is a unique part which at least I haven't seen in any such games, that you control only one of the characters. All the other army you control indirectly by issuing orders, like telling them go into the charge and fight your enemy, or you say them to like go back so they defend you.
Could they refuse the orders?
Yes, and that's another interesting thing about this game, because the minions actually are not super smart. They sometimes do the wrong thing, not the thing you want them to do.
I mean, it feels very bad to just move one tile and then do nothing.
It feels alright actually.
No, I don't think so, because well, you're basically a walking flagpole, and when you're being chased,
you need to recall your minions to protect them.
Primarily, I like adventure games and games like Dark Souls, and I like to challenge myself in them, and I like to play them. I like the theme and I like the visuals. Gaming to me means relaxation, like just enjoying my time with the game, playing it, appreciating other people's work, and relax and escape reality for a bit when you get bored of reality.
The game is about slimes, blood, explosions, and guts. It's a top-down action-adventure game that will have overly exaggerated plotline in a style of stealing animes and stuff like that. So at the moment we are a team of two, if I haven't been left yet. Nice. I'm an artist, and Victor is a sound guy.
Why you choose to participate in GameCamp?
Because it was a perfect opportunity to make my game. The thing is, each person has his own or her own sense of humor, and well, either my sense of humor will relate to their sense of humor, or it won't. Like, it's funny to some and it's like repulsive to others, so well, what can we do? We can basically do nothing and just hope for the best. There are multiple kinds of successes. One is get super lucky and get $1 million and live happily ever after. Another is meet people who you would like to work with for like many years to come and make the games that you all enjoy together, and successfully survive from that and sustain yourself. Because I think, although hobby game dev is fun and all, but if you do it seriously, you should be able to sustain yourself from it. You can never say for sure that you will make those $1 million, but if the right people see your game at the right time, and if it's good enough and it's interesting enough to many people, more than a few, then you will be able to make that money and make those millions of dollars. But of course, there are all of those factors that need to come together. Like, you can never tell when they will come together. You can just hope and try your best, I guess.
Anyone else? Nobody? Okay.
So, hello, I'm Satu Lauke from Finland.
this game idea, game concept I have. The main character. You see the main character here. It's right there. It's a mosquito.
I heard about GameCamps first time when GameCamps was in Tallinn. I was visiting Tallinn then. And now I heard there is this GameCamps Riga and decided to participate. I actually listened to all the game idea pitches in the start of this event. And during those pitches I started to think that, hey, I want to make some own idea also. And then after all the pitches were done, they asked that any more pitches. Then I was like, okay, I can pitch this. Like this kind of extempore moment. Then I think I made a successful pitch.
The mosquito has been watching humans, like trying to figure out why they are killing us, mosquitoes. And once the mosquito saw rally racer, mosquito was like, whoa, I want to do that. I want to be a human and race cars. So the mosquito invented a new sport among the mosquito community called mosquito racing, super amazing.
Why I became a game developer was I've been always interested in games in this particular way that how the games are made. Like when I was young, I didn't really know that game developer would be like a job, a real job. But now, like the days have changed, game development is a big industry and a real job for many people.
So what do you need?
I'm here looking for new friends, connections. I can do Unity, animation, programming, audio, music, maybe graphics, but during 48 hours I don't have time to do that. So I would be very happy to get some help with this project and have fun making games.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thanks.
This kind of 48-hour game development challenge, it's not so much about game like is it a very big thing for the humanity. It's more about having fun developing games.
I can do 2D, 3D animations and basically programming.
Which country are you from?
Estonia.
Estonia. So if anybody needs Estonian artists, lots of hands.
Come to my game, please. Do I need to beg or something? This can be a real good game, and trust me, I have done real good games before, and this one can be one of them with you. Really, like it's going to be really shiny, real good, and people are going to like it.
They will definitely learn a lot of new stuff, like networking, talking to people, building teams, learn new skills. Usually I encourage people to try new software, try new engine, try something they have never done before, and yeah, learn something new. And definitely the winners will get the prizes and the chance to build a company and build a business from what they are doing, build a business from their hobby.
Can we start like counting right now?
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's start.
Hi, my name is Vladimir. I'm here with I'm part of the Cold Wild Game Studio, and basically I wanted to pitch you the idea of the game that I want to make today. It's the World Protection Agency, and in short it's about defeating the evil and just traveling the world. Think about the spy movies, like in the 60s, 70s.
We wanted to make our own project, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end. Not much I can tell about this. We're still going to make it eventually, probably with ourselves, but since it's a team project, which is based on the cooperation, we've decided to throw away our own idea and to help someone else who just needed some help.
Yep. Hello, I'm Marty, and this is Greta. The name of our game is Happy Grandmas. The game is similar to Cook Clicker, but the theme is knitting. we're planning to make it in Unity, and we need
Coders, developers.
yes, let's say everything right now.
I will name it game. You'll come here. I will check if you have all the requirements to compete for the prize. If you don't have them, you have two options. You can just jam. I don't suggest doing that, but you can just jam, or you can split and join other teams. Then we'll have a second round, and those who don't have any team will be able to join other teams. Let's start again. Defeat the evil. Are you here? So, oh, you are jamming. Yeah, okay, you are jamming.
But if anyone else wants to join, I'm a programmer, she's a pixel artist, and basically we just need someone. Do you guys want to join us, or?
You need to join us.
Yeah, we kind of discussed it, but we're still thinking about it. But yeah, if anyone wants to join us,
You're still thinking about joining them, right?
we're kind of considering it, but we're not 100% sure.
Okay.
We just
So
need
we're
anyone who's not Estonian. Like anyone.
So I guess Habit Pets is out, right? Did you find anybody? Oh, nice. So, Defeat the Evil is out, right?
Yes.
And you are joining?
The grandma was very good.
Happy
Grandmas.
Happy Grandmas. So you are now Happy Grandmas from which country? Estonia and Latvia. Okay, then you are qualified and you can start working.
I just see that people around us are working, and when you see that people around you are working, you kind of don't want to let everyone else down. So I want to be the crewmate, not the baggage. So that's how I view this. And I also want to make great games. Since it was a dream to me and we have the opportunity right now, I think we need to take it. I'm not really in for the money today. Mostly I just want to see how other people are working and interacting with each other and possibly make a cool game.
We have like 50 patterns and we have different colors, and so
And yeah, the idea that at first
really
you have like
complicated,
one pattern, then with one color, and then the new pattern, the new colors get introduced.
For a couple of years ago, we created a board game which was based on, or basically for people with dementia, or like the first stage of it for elderly people with this kind of illness, and they had to like with some patterns, with wooden patterns, like make also this kind of things.
If we ever make something like this, I would make this like pro bono. Or is it called? Can you call something pro bono when you make it?
GameCamp is an international gathering of game developers trying to make the next big thing. It's a really interesting project because it forces people to collaborate across nations, because a team has to be multinational. And I think that's great, because when you're working with someone not from around where you are, it creates this atmosphere of collaboration and mutual respect, which is great.
I think this is nice they're from different countries, because our business in our industry is based in English. So they will have a language, they will talk to each other, the same language, English, not their local language, but English, this is the important part. And I travel quite a lot because my main goal as a company representative is to reveal the talents. So I really travel across the world. And I think to make their team international is nice for inspiration for them. Also to bring new ideas into the team. Each region has its own, local trends, local culture that always is brought to the games, to the products from developers. And this internationality, it gives a variety of new ideas and new approaches and developments. So I think it's a really nice idea.
RPG and strategy elements where you use your phone camera. The defining feature of the game is the captain system. The player can have a certain number of captains, and he creates new captains by taking a picture with his phone. It can be a drawing or a face, and the image is integrated into the game as the face of the captain. We all are very busy in our daily lives, and it's hard to find time to learn something new and to really sit down and focus yourself on one task. You can be very productive during this time, and also meeting new contacts, and the atmosphere is really great to be productive. Well, I'm interested in creative arts, and I think that video games combined many aspects: storytelling, art, audio, also the technical side. So it offers many possibilities to experiment, and that's mainly why I chose to learn more about game development.
I have been a gamer since, I don't know, early ages. Like back when I was little, I was playing this game called Warcraft 3, and I was using like the world editor, so to make my own maps, like make some fun, I don't know, maps, level designs. So I was like already hooked back then. So then I thought like, well, why not like try studying like in this video game development? And it was like really exciting. At first I wanted to be like a modeler, artist. Then I started like a little bit of coding, and then I was like hooked. So now I'm like full-time programmer, and I really like that. My team are developing a game called Chronicles of Oz. It's like a 3D low poly art style role-playing game where you like do some quests, battle enemies, you know, like turn-based combat. We're gonna make the game like really story-based, immersive, like atmospheric. That's like the main things we're pushing in the game. If we manage to win something, or if you want, anyway, we're gonna make some company, try to like make our own games. Then maybe we'll see how it goes.
Everything is synchronized, and we can also shoot and kill each other. The idea is that we have weapons that are made out of stuff that's usually that you see usually in offices. Like, for example, there's this sword, which is basically a big ruler. Mm-hmm. There's this needle gun made out of staple gun, as far as I know.
Yes, this one.
And this one is a flamethrower, which is made out of air blower.
It's basically a 3D multiplayer third-person shooter, but instead of like typical weapons, we have like weapons that are made out of office stuff. It needs good multiplayer architecture from the ground up, and that's what I like about it. We are 4 members here. 3 of us are Latvians, the generalist is from Estonia. We didn't really find any members. We just hope that we will get one here. If we wouldn't, we just jam our idea anyway.
We got 3 beer?
We were really stubborn on that. Sadly, he wasn't able to create his own project, which was really interesting. I would join him if I wouldn't have this team, but otherwise it worked out well for us, I guess.
Ja tu vēlies kaut ko no veikala, tikai saki.
Just...
Ja tu gribi, lai es apklustu, tikai saki.
Jā, tas ir tas, ko tu varētu izdarīt.
It sort of stresses you to work in these 48 hours and to create something representable. Otherwise, it would like stretch into like 4 months. Nevertheless, of the result, it's gonna the main thing here is to have fun.
Global Game Jam arī, nu tā kā nāca tur tās intervijas taisīt, nu tā kā visu, ko es tur darīju, arī, nu, krājumu izkast tikai, vienkārši aizgāju tur, nu tā otrā fonā, tur, nu, no LNT bija atnāks, un tu tur arī, jā, tur baks, tur rāda, tipa ekrānā, tur kods tikai rāda, es vispār nesaprotu, ko es rādu, team leaders.
Good morning, my name is Juhan, this is Nils. Our team has also Janis, who is developer, and Chris, who is a 3D designer. We will be building up an augmented reality game.
I'm representing a team called Sandbox Mafia, which is the first name. We will probably change it. But our game is based on augmented reality, which means that you can control your virtual character in the real world. Looking through your phone, you can see your virtual character on your table, for example. I'm completely new in this area. but in September 8 we took part of Loomehack. It's a hackathon in Estonia. And with two of my friends, we came to an idea to make a game, and the game idea with AR sounded really fascinating. And we started from completely scratch. We started Googling how to do it, and we just started doing it, and it was really amazing experience for us. The fun behind the whole coding and gaming business itself, it's interesting. I would like to create value, not just money, but value. And that's why I guess the gaming side is so fascinating, because you are not just probably making money, but you have actually something practical to sell, to offer some fun for children, for example.
All right, so I'll quickly explain the idea for this game. You play as the character Captain Backfire here.
The main goal is to parry enemies. You can't attack traditionally, you can't punch people, but you can wait for them to attack and then use their attacks to actually defeat the foes. It's always interesting in these types of events. The game that you started out making isn't the game you end up making. It's always going to be different. So we still have a lot of time remaining, and we'll see what actually comes out at the end. So the nice thing here is that we have mentors that you can ask for advice. That advice is so valuable because you can't just casually go up, let's say, to... Well, you don't meet Notch every day and just can ask him all the secrets of the industry. But in an event like this, even though he's not here, Notch himself, there are plenty of really talented people here who are mentoring us throughout all this event and giving us amazing advice. Of course, gaming is a business. It can't function if it isn't a business. Money is needed to pay all the hardworking people that are making these games. But at the same time, you can look at it as something more, as an art form to express yourself. You can look at it as just to provide an experience for someone. It's so hard to describe.
What's for you?
For me?
Yeah.
What is gaming for me? Well, for me, I guess gaming is... interesting question. Haven't really thought about it in that way. Well, I'm an advocate gamer myself, of course. I don't own all the consoles because I can't just afford them, but on the PC I play lots of games. But I'm a part of this industry, so yeah, I guess I'm in both spectrums. I can see it as a business opportunity, as a way to express myself, and also a way to participate in it as a consumer, buying other people's made-up experiences and enjoying them.
I'm Sami Nuutinen, I'm from Finland, and we came with Porolegiona. There is Jani and Mira and me. We got also Christer, he's from Sweden. Our game is a horror game. You play as a ghost and you have to scare the person away from the building. We are trying to build a game development company, and we came here for the experience and learning and meet some new contacts and maybe test our skills. Gaming means it has had a big role in my life, yes. I played a lot, especially when I was a teenager. Well, I had a little tough time then, so it was kind of also therapeutic thing, maybe some escape from reality. Of course, developers always make games for gamers and try to make them as entertaining as possible. But I think one important thought is that developers shouldn't make games for money. I mean, of course, money is important in running a business, but it shouldn't be about the money, but about the content of the game.
And of course, I'd like to keep the controls as simple as possible. We'll be talking about the option to change the music that the speaker plays. So the speaker
It's like walking poor.
These are the bullet points for your tomorrow presentation. Please attention. This one you should touch. Then this one is if you need additional mentoring, then you have to submit request till 9 o'clock. And this is evaluation protocol, how you will be evaluated tomorrow.
Excellent.
And start when you are ready.
9 o'clock tonight.
And you can
Yes,
plug in
yeah.
there if you have
Mobile game can't quite plug in.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I think you should start using it.
Sure, fair enough, yeah. Alright, UMO is an atmospheric physics puzzle game for mobile platforms. And it combines simple gyroscopic controls with beautiful visuals and a varied soundscape. And I think at this point you better just show how it works.
It's a bit difficult to show on mobile, but I'll go around, I guess.
Yeah.
Do that. Okay. Problem is, girls, we can't restart this, so.
If you have it turned this way, so I can look at it as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's very small.
We can do
I just see
both,
the dots happening from here. The concept of the gameplay is you're using real world gravity, so down is down and down is down. And through the game, as you navigate rocky levels, and the challenge comes from navigating puzzles basically. This is quite a simple level, but you'd have more complex things going through different various caves and rocks, and you have to try and find the right path. The gameplay itself is based around music. You use these musical notes you pick up. You're trying to pick up the right music for the right alien. The whole game is about making aliens dance. So you want to get music that they like, play the music, bring it to them, and they'll start dancing. Show them the wrong music, they'll stop dancing, and the goal of the game basically is to get all the aliens dancing together, and once that's happened, you win.
We're aiming for the indie App Store aesthetic. Game relies on easygoing meditative gameplay and is supported by alluring, mellow visuals and music. Yeah, these are just notes. I'll wrap this up in a...
Do you have music for it now? Music?
Yeah, we got. Well, I'm working on it.
We've got one song almost finished. And you'll crank out another one by the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
You use it by tilting the phone, so it's all about gravity. So you can turn around right the way around if you want. And so all that crazy movement there. Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the person playing it,
yeah,
doing all the motions. And that's actually sort of one of the things that attracted me to this project, because I saw Chris with his tech demo and he was going all over the place with the phone, and that looked fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's something new, but it's kind of tricky, especially if
I
I have
know,
really
yeah.
expensive phone, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
We talked about PC, but it didn't need a gamepad, and we need to use them. It's not as fun and it's not as interesting.
The question was more about like the combination of the game, like the gameplay and the art. Because like if you look at the art, the target audience is probably like our age, or like, I can say like completely, but it's like for me it's a difference between the target audience for the art and for the gameplay. Do you know what is the target audience?
Our target audience, as badly as it's defined, I'm actually kind of horrified, is indie game fans, all ages and genders, and that's a horrible definition. I'll accept your criticism.
Try to run through the night?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to sleep, but yeah. So, but at the same time, I mean, I'm Pēdām brokastis un tagad puiši kaut kur aizlēdušies ir gulēt. Es jau sāku apsvērt, varbūt man kādu stundu nolakties. Darba dubna visu nakti bijusi.
Så att vi får köra 0 får vi köra 0 får vi köra vi kan köra som här underlag liksom. Ja men precis, för då behöver vi inte gå in i Audacity, för då skulle vi kunna egentligen köra
We're game jammers, most of us are. We've never worked before as a team. We've been in social groups, so to speak. So we really enjoy the format of having short bursts of creativity. And this seemed like a great idea, meet new people, get new connections from across the sea. We are making a game called Reach. It's about a regular normal man in all kinds of ways, except for the fact that his arms are 33 feet long, or 10 meters if you're European. And it's the daily struggles of a man who has these gigantic arms, waking up in the morning, taking a shower, driving his car to work, eating breakfast, playing basketball with his friends. For the game jam, we're focusing on one of the events. We're going for breakfast. Gaming is life, is passion. You know, if you look at Maslow's steps of needs, of course, gaming is not, I mean, I need to eat, I need to drink, I need to sleep, and I need to game. And for me, I also need to create games. I cannot paint, I cannot make music, I cannot sing, I cannot act. But I can make games, so I can communicate the things that I don't know how to put into words. Of course, you listen to what audience you have, what do they want, but you also figure out what do I want to do. If we keep doing just what is asked of us from the players, then we're gonna do the same games over and over again. And if I can be a bit frank about it, if you look at the big business AAA, a lot of things is just that. You're listening, you do your target audience checkups, you do your marketing research, and you figure out like, oh, this is what we can do, we can sell this amount, keep us in the green. I think we need these strange, weird entrepreneurs who do something that nobody believes in. Minecraft, just a runaway idea. Nobody believed in it. His own company that he worked with didn't believe in it. And then it's one of the best-selling games in the world because it's a great idea and it's for everyone. And I think if he had just listened to what the audience wanted, it wouldn't happen. Then again, not everyone can be that guy. He's a lottery winner, he's 1 in a million. So I'd say it's a combination. You both listen to audience and you try to create for your own. And somewhere in the middle is where we develop. To me, these big giant games who are really interesting are usually, they force you to be creative. Because if you're not creative, then, I mean, playing Minecraft and not really trying to build anything is nothing. Playing Dota and not trying to figure out how to solve these things, how do I become better at this game, it's also a type of creativity you have to explore. Forcing the player to think for themselves, to be creative. You can read a lot of things on how to play a game, but in order to actually enjoy it, you have to start figuring stuff out yourself. Because the interactivity it's the thing. I mean, movies are passive, music is passive, games aren't. And it forces you to do stuff. The perfect game. Oh, that's hard. Well, I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect game.
No, but for you?
For me, for my personal perfect game. It's not so important what the gameplay is about or the presentation or even what type of game, rather the subject that it explores. I consider games an art form. Yes, it is a product as well, but it's also an art form. And every artistic medium explores something, tries to answer some questions or figure out something out. So a perfect game for me would be a game that explores themes that relate to me, like I'm quite heavy set. I have glasses, I'm an immigrant in my own country. I have Asperger's syndrome. All of these things can be expressed through gameplay. It's hard to write a good play about being a fat guy, but you can make a game about being the odd one out. that's doable. So to me, a perfect game would be something that deals with these topics that are of interest to me.
Like this one?
Yeah, precis.
But not all of them.
I've
Nothing
never
free
had
infection.
conflict with it before.
I mean, I think the bird could be. And then you will lose your.
Yeah, but I have Finland is not named countries, which is very like Finland is because we have a ridiculous crowdfunding laws in Finland.
And if you polish it, you will win.
And
Or
also,
maybe
I
there
think
are
that it's also the polishing, but also that we haven't gone through the loop yet, so we don't really know if it actually is fun.
What's the elevator pitch?
The elevator pitch. Well, you play as a parent who needs to take care of a baby in the middle of natural disasters.
My name is Theo. I'm from the Game Assembly in Sweden with my mates Connie and William. We're part of the Baby Makers team.
And tell us about the loop.
The loop. So the game starts, you have a timer, and you basically need to make sure that your baby has enough happiness when the timer is out.
Like for example, this is like an example. You go to a station, you have to do like a small quick time event, then you go to the opposite station and it finishes.
Yeah, and then you have to bring the food to the baby.
Yeah.
I work with games because I'm a creative person, and I feel that I'm both a creative person and a technical person, and working with games is this perfect mixture. I can use my this technical knowledge to create things that make people, I create entertainment, so I make people happy, I guess. It's my first game jam, first off, so I've always wanted to go to game jams. This seemed like the perfect opportunity since, everything was paid for, and I had nothing to lose by joining this game jam.
Fast huvudkaraktären är fett stor nu, jag måste skala ner den. Men
we don't have anything, so we started from the ground up this morning. So yeah, we're like doing the kind of vanilla game jam. That's we're making a game from the ground up.
What?
I think it will be great. Like we're making progress really fast, really fast. Like I could check 1 hour ago and it would, like, you can see big differences. So I'm sure it will turn out to be a great game.
So who are we? We are.
Does anybody of you have what kind of background that start like this? Are you all like?
We're all game developers. We have no idea about the business side.
So what are you missing? You're missing a business side probably, but what else?
Yes.
Marketing.
Yes.
What else?
We have sound, we have programmers, we have designers and artists.
Okay.
So
cool.
Developers get an idea of how their business mentality is and how those will be judged in the real life once they go out from this kind of a safe area and go out to the real investors and publishers.
It's totally about the business as well. So we actually require them not only to pitch their game, but they need to pitch their plan for the business as well. They have to take into account marketing and monetization of the game.
That's something what usually that people forgot. It's like, okay, they forgot the producer who's like, looking the whole project, and then definitely they are forgetting the CEO, the business guy. Usually it's like, okay, some poor guy is like, okay, let's see you be the CEO. It's like, okay, I'll be the CEO, and I have no idea what the CEO is like. So yeah, get that guy who's like starting, like pushing your product to the markets before it's ready.
You seem to be having a good kind of energy on it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Keep going. But please also maybe like from the business perspective, maybe also like having there some kind of thoughts, like also for tomorrow for the pitch, like I think this also like, because somehow you would like to bring it on the market and then where, what, how, and for whom.
Yeah. Yes.
We all work for money. It's like overall objective, and any enterprises or businesses objective is profit. My aim is turn them in that these ideas not only good in like gaming development, but that they could also earn some money in the future.
A lot of teams are making that for fun. They don't really look at the business side yet, but when they get older, kind of closer to their 30s, they start to think, okay, I need to do some money as well. So then comes the money side and the business side. So if you want to succeed, you need to be able to make business out of that as well, which is not easy. So that's why it's also an interesting industry, since it's not easy to make money out of that.
If you're interested in developing games, that's like the most important thing. But then you also need to have kind of business mentality. So if you're interested in the games as a business too, then this is the right place for you.
Of course, we don't expect that there will be a detailed business plan or the games that on the next day can be delivered in the Steam for playing and for selling. No, but at least this concept, this idea must be shown after these 48 hours. And after these 48 hours, they have to go in front, present what they have done, and then we will go together with jury for jury meeting. And from these 16 teams, first of all, we will count the points that were delivered by the jury members during presentation. From this, we will shortlist 5 winners, and then from these 5 winners, we will select the first place, second, and third place.
So hello, my name is Samson. I'm with Hold My Bear Studios. We made a game called Reach. Meet Sune, the long-armed man portrayed without his arms, for security reasons, obviously. Sune is a regular man, but he has arms that is roughly 10 meters long. He tries to enjoy his life like the rest of us, of course. He wakes up every morning, he takes a shower, he eats his breakfast, he drives to work, he makes copies at the office where he works, he plays basketball with his friends, etc. Everyday life things. But when you have 10-meter long arms, that is very hard. And I thought I'd show you how Sune tries to eat breakfast. So here we're in Sune's kitchen. He's doing his best to get himself some sandwiches in his tummy. And within a couple of seconds or minutes, the carpool will arrive and he'll have to leave for work, but he can't go to work hungry, because you know how you are when you're at work and you're hungry. It's awful. So this is the scenario which we have created for this game jam, but the game in itself is created of a multitude of scenarios. I mentioned some of them at the beginning, and there will come more thereafter. And this is also our monetization scheme. Of course, we will charge for the game at start, and then we will add DLC, which constitutes scenarios in which we place Sune. He doesn't always have to grab things. Sometimes he drives a car. Maybe he's in a slap fight with a bad guy at work. He plays basketball, hockey, maybe. So this is the basis with the core system of the long arms. For marketing, we are focusing heavily on influencers and streamers. So we will start fairly small by going into popular places on Reddit, on 9gag, on Imager, because this is a very gifable game. Wonky physics, long arms, lots of crazy fun situations. And of course, combinations of weird stuff always makes for funny things, like put an egg inside a toaster. There you go, you created a fried egg for some reason. Our team consists today of me as the project manager, game designer, and coder. Next to me is Johannes, also a programmer and game designer. Emily is our 3D artist. Eric is also a 3D artist and visual effects. And we have Freddie, who makes the music and sounds for us. That is essentially what we have. But we won't leave you with just that. We also want you to see that you can sign up for our alpha today. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Sasu from Finland, and we made the Mosquito Racing super amazing game, and this is team.
I'm Fanny, and I'm from Sweden. I'm the coder.
And I'm Silver, I'm from Estonia, I'm the artist. Yeah, and I worked as a programmer and a producer in this project. So let's start with the demo of the game.
Mosquito racing is amazing.
So the game is about mosquitoes who want to be race car drivers. So they think they know what race car driving is, but they don't really. They just think, oh, this is a track like skin race. Let's play skin race. So you control a swarm of mosquitoes, try to survive all the obstacles, and pick up power-ups. And your health is the size of your swarm here. If you collect blood, you can hatch more mosquitoes in your swarm. And the levels are gonna get harder and harder and until they are like super silly hard. This is size upgrade, power up. We have speed, power up, and this there are also a negative. Yeah. Yeah, and we have some slides also. So. So mosquito racing. So we are concentrating on the goofy characters. Like the mosquitoes are a family of mosquitoes. There are like this. How do you say? Mosquito arena, maybe. And the idea is the mosquitoes want to race, like I said. The game has goofy characters, different kind of characters, maybe some dark humor, appealing to like maybe adults, but kids don't understand it possibly. The gameplay is getting more challenging and challenging, so maybe at some point the ridiculously challenging though, so there will be some short passages. Next slide. This is the secret cue. So business. So we are building the story around this game. Each level there's going to be a story mode and stuff like that. So the mosquitoes will have this story. On mobile it will be free to play with in-game currency. The mosquito family has. They are very excited about the blood money. And rewarding us, you can get more blood money to unlock new levels. And also, I'm part of the game startup Ad Inspiration. We have other game prototypes, game concepts with goofy characters. We plan to possibly integrate this in the portfolio, and we could cross-promote these characters in the other games. Visibility on the market. How can we make the buzz? A goofy humor, appealing to maybe teenagers, maybe to streamers, YouTubers, young adults, everyone with bad sense of humor. We're gonna make like a user-generated. Users can make their own levels and share them and compete there, like. Who beats the high score on a certain level, and they can maybe rate what is the best level, most common level, newest level, and have weekly challenges and stuff like that. So the team, I came here and pitched this idea of ours, and luckily enough, we got this team like a super talented artist from Estonia and cool coder girl from Sweden. And they nailed it. Also, we can help with the further development of this game. The help from the company where I'm in, Ad Inspiration. I also already talked to the other co-founders, and they also like this.
Can you show us? Okay. I just wanted to see slides. So, a question?
One question. This mosquito design is fully designed by you?
Yes. Okay, thank you. And next thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We're ready. Alexander,
Okay.
go ahead.
Hello everyone. So this is our game. It's called Happy Grandma Simulator. So it's basically it's half clicker and half memory improving game. So actually the idea came from Marty and Grete. They're both handcraft lovers, and they wanted to make a clicker game which involved some knitting. So stitching. So as you see, first when you open a game, you have this stitching frame, and there was a highlighted pattern, and when you finished it, then you got some grandma points. And you can do them and get money, and also you have a catalog where are all the patterns. You can buy them, they are getting more and more difficult, and also as you're improving, you're getting some new features, for example scissors, which can clear all this frame, for example if you messed up something. So, and as you improve and get more money and get more improvement, so you can buy kittens that increase your income as you finish your pattern. And also you can buy grandmas. And they help you to get money just after some period of time. So it's automatic, you don't have to do anything. And also you can buy new threads, and you have to use them in later patterns, so it's really useful. And yeah, we right now have 50 patterns, so, and they are different colors and different difficulties. So yeah, basically that's all we do right now.
Alright, yeah, as you understand, this is a prototype, but we just wanted to indicate that it's going to have multiple dimensions. First the idle part, and then more of a clicking active part with memory training. And speaking about the marketing and business plan, like most of the clicker or idle games, we're planning to start on web, congregate Newgrounds, Armor Games, and so on, etc., etc. But since we're maybe targeting a bit different audience, I think it's makes more sense if we try to put it on Facebook at the very start. Then comes the mobile, and as we know, as it was mentioned before, the mobile market is oversaturated. So one plan is to use our web interfaces just to drive people towards the mobile application, in case, and just like take it with you on the bus or something. And just a supplementary, it goes on Steam since we're using Unity, and it just doesn't require much effort to publish there. The aim is to first we're just going to try to have like good user retention statistics, so people will keep playing our games, and then as we publish smaller games that increase in scope, we're going to use the cross promotion and to increase the size of the company, of the revenue, and the games published. So about the monetization, if we introduce the prestige currency and the resets, we can use some sorts of the boost for less patient players, but never sell power for money. If you know the game Realm Grinder, which has the similar reset and prestige model, it has like a series of purchases, which are absolutely not mandatory, but more of a voluntary kind. And I was thinking something like that can improve your gameplay, but you don't have to have it. So it's more about convenience, actually. And maybe if we go a bit of a more puzzly route, we aim at selling new patterns. Next, so the focus group is probably more elderly people, handcraft lovers, or children. Or if we add darker twists, we can try more mature audiences. So the possibilities are pretty much open, and I firmly believe that this should be experimented over. And the purpose is mostly entertainment and memory improvement. Speaking about our team, we have Alexandra, who is an artist. Helena is an artist too. Marty is a programmer, assisting me, and Greta does game design. She figured out all the patterns and just tried to keep us going. So I'm programming, yes.
The question?
One question.
Sure.
Do you have any ideas about other games?
Yes, of course. I'm a big fan of the idle games, so that's why I kind of interested in the genre. One point is that we introduced the stitching thing because I haven't seen it in any other Clicker games, so this should make it distinguishable. And the point is to use the good mechanics that are already set, like linear growth of your income and exponential growth of your costs, but to add some twists of it. So this will be innovative, but uses the recognizable mechanics later on as the game progresses. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We still can start speaking, or we can print it out now.
I got this one. Maybe our guest wants one.
Anyone else? So you must be looking for not something completely new, but something that is combined in a new way and makes sense?
Something that stands out.
We have the first one is Mosquito.
Yay!
Well, it was clear it was the only game that made everyone laugh, right? And then they actually had some character design, they had some gameplay that feels innovative, and the music just makes the game so...
So do we agree that they take the first place?
No, we need to discuss this further, I think.
Yeah, I agree that we need to discuss it.
Yeah.
Well, you see, you can never really predict what's gonna, like, what can explode on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit, I think knitting might explode on Steam.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it really has potential.
What about baby makers?
They make people laugh.
Like basically within 10 hours, they made huge progress.
Yep.
But not for the first place.
No.
No.
I would not.
Then for the first place, Happy Grandma.
Happy Grandma would leverage the money the most.
Yeah.
Just because they already have core gameplay.
Yeah.
So okay, then Happy Grandma can go as the first one.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be put to a vote.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Then
so.
Happy Grandma is the first one.
Oh, does everyone agree?
Let's vote, yeah.
I think so too. They should be first.
Because if someone doesn't agree, then we have a discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Vesip, do you agree? Okay.
So Happy Grandma goes the first one.
Just from a benefit perspective for the team.
Yeah.
Well, one guy.
My logic here is that I don't like the game. It's funny, but I don't like it. But I think that with that humor and the opportunity that comes with second place or third place, this would have the team would have potential.
Exactly, the team has potential.
Yeah. So maybe like this will flop, but maybe if they work together really well, maybe the second game that they make would actually be commercially viable. Because if they were able to draw all of that art, like get the music, and even though it's like an hour of work, getting stupid music in makes it right.
Yeah.
Okay, are we voting then?
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Okay,
vote.
for Mosquito as second.
Okay, then it's a second. So then let's vote the Reach as the third place.
Then Reach for the third one. Okay.
Okay. So yes.
Okay.
So, and from my point of view, when I look through all these games, and another condition for this event, good team, but not game connecting violence, not fighters, yeah, not killers, not such like things, yeah. And from my vision, I have to discuss with you this. It is 14, it was Umo, yeah?
Yeah, Umo.
Yeah. There was the good team, this composer to find melody.
It's also the biggest team, I guess, what you have here. And but still, they seem to work together.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
The first one, Happy Grandma. Second one, Mosquito. Third one, Reach, right?
All the finals, they were really close, and we had a debate, like for some time to actually, like, it was not only about the points, like, the scores. We had a debate and we discussed which game has not only the best game, best presentation, but also has a potential to develop as a company and be profitable.
Okay, it's a great pleasure. And from some point of view, also it's a great success that we all survived today, and especially all of you. In some cases we were even impressed how you are working, and it doesn't matter what will be, who will be the winner or who will be not the winner. You all are winners. And from my point of view, one small inspiring speech is never ever give up. Keep fight for your game, and do whatever you want, but develop your ideas, and you have no borders, only one border, it's your mind. So go behind these borders, and never ever give up. Okay. We will start with the third place. And for this game camp, the third place is awarded to team, strange team, with long hands. Name of team, originally Reach, finally HMB Solutions. Please, we are asking Congratulations. Thank you. But we also have bronze medals. As in the Olympic Games. Congratulations. Thank you. And also, what do we have? Trophy. Trophy. GameCamps Riga. So you will remember it forever.
Thank you.
So please
let us photograph you.
Yeah, photograph? Stay here. So, and you can make a photo. I will just go away. Not spoil the photo. Yay. Okay, stay here. Just take that corner more. Okay. Now we are on the what place? Second. And the second place goes to? For the whole team.
Where is the others?
Where are the others?
They might be in the bar.
So you will have then 3 medals. Each has 3 medals.
3 medals.
This is a team spirit. One person with 3 medals.
And a cup.
Woman is taking all of the responsibility. Congratulations. And number 1, the first prize will go to who? What do you think?
Babies. Grannies.
You louder! You don't have any ideas. Okay, the first prize goes to Happy Grandma.
Congratulations, good job. Really good job.
Where did this come from?
Good job.
And now, a photo for the future. 3 winning teams.
Yeah, come closer. No, come closer to us.
You can go. This is the future of the game industry in Central Baltic region.
Mosquito
Man is coming. Great. Mosquitoes are already. So, will they be there or not, Mosquito
Yes.
Man? Oh, Mosquito Man!
What happened?
You just win the second prize.
Oh no!
But in general, nothing happened. So, Congratulations, Robert. But we have one more prize. And this prize will be awarded by Managing Director of Latvian Technological Center, Jan Stamulis. And the company that will have it, he will say.
So, our organization, which is a partner in this very fantastic and beautiful project, is, how to say, innovation flagmanship in Latvia, or flagship. And that's why we decided to introduce so-called innovation prize. Innovation is a very, very tricky thing, and nobody can explain what it really does it mean, yeah? But one Votin said it is set of mind, yeah? How to do your business. And there are many components, bright ideas, bright, how to say, producers, executors, and so on, so. But one of the main components or indicators in the innovation process is team building. So, and that is why we decided to make this so-called innovation prize from this event for company which in our mind has the best team or best or more promising team. So it was one point, and another point was that we were against, since innovation is very peaceful action, yeah, against fightings, killing, and also these games. It is very funny, but it is not in category for our selection of innovation company. And the third, what I would like to say point is, I would be very, very happy or satisfied if we took more attention about learning process, which is also component in an innovation process. So let's say but that means which guys or girls from first, third, or seventh class, different levels, how you have in every game, yeah, to go and to get some additional knowledge also. So, and then coming to the company which in our mind was the best in all innovation companies is, or we selected company Humo. It is what I would like to say is that this really, first of all, the company, in companies that are all participating countries, all four, yeah? It's true? True. That means you had a very good team in one sense, which is, I like very much music, and you are a composer.
Yeah, well done, Robert.
It is fantastic. So, and then what I said before about teaching, maybe if you, it's my idea, then maybe we share the profit, yeah, later. Then,
we can talk about
then
that.
to go in these minds or whatever, and then la, and if you recognize that it is la, yeah, you can go further. If it is si bemol, it's not, yeah. So, and then the company will get personal diplomas and some small prizes. Ari Matti Pippo. Congratulations. Marko Korbu. Congratulations. Robert Ambo. Congratulations. And I wish you great success. Tigers, after this. Ciao, Sveiciens. Congratulations. Irina Fiorala. Congratulations. And Chris Massey. Yeah, congratulations. I wish you good success in every business, and let's follow this very hard competition in the framework of this project.
There are 3 chocolates left. So, you have to decide to whom we will give. but I already made a decision. All of you who are in this room have to say thanks to two ladies. You said already to two ones, to two more. One is Madeleine, Sweden. The second, also not the second, it's also the first lady. Satu Soini, Finland. And there is one more woman. Oi, did I And there is one more woman in this room. Maybe the most important. She will have to pay for all of this, what we did in these 3 days. Pictures for the memories, and somehow this is a sad moment and happy moment. Finally, everything ended. But with this, we can declare with Elvis that Riga GameCamps Riga event is
Over.
Closed. And Vodka is coming next July, so please prepare. Build the teams, pitch the ideas, start your games, and never ever give up. Thank you all for this. We have one more prize. One more prize. And that will be awarded by Yulia Moshkaryova, Casual Connect.
Just a second, I will bring you.
You had to be drunk. Sorry. Huh? Yes, Asha, come in. He said she has everything goes wrong.
No, it was nice.
Okay, can we go for this last award? One more award. That's my fault, I forgot about it. Too many awards for one small event. So, and the award will be given by Yulia Moshkaryova, Casual Connect.
Yeah, okay.
I think you can start if you're ready.
On behalf of CGA, Computer Game Association, Casual Connect and Indie Prize, I'm really honored to be here. And thanks everyone for making this happy. Thank you for invitation and collaboration. And for all the team who were there. It's really inspiring and it's really nice that your community is developing so fast and there are organizations who support you and bring you to game industry. So we want to support developers as well and give a free pass to the Casual Connect. It's a business-oriented conference for game developers. And we hope that you will immerse into our business, into game industry even more. And this prize goes to the winner, to the happy grandma.
Okay, now all the awards are given. Are there some more awards? No. Okay, thank you very much then all.
And the problems could be certain problems you need the robot to do some stuff, and otherwise it's the player that needs to jump because the player can jump a lot higher than the robot. And we are kind of thinking of this like a game.
The best selling point would be that it creates replayability and creates entertainment for influencers. Meaning that someone like PewDiePie should be able to play it and have fun. If that happens, then people like me are going to be throwing money at those teams. Just because we know that at a very early stage, something incepted here creates value. and then that value becomes exponential the more you invest into it.
For developers, like I talked to a few of them and they were like more excited, like we came here like, you know, for fun, to network with developers, free food, and now we won! That's like, you know, emotions, and this is an inspiration not only for them, but also for other people who see that it is possible.
Everybody in the jury has kind of a different perspective for that, but from my perspective, I'm looking more on the business side since I have a business background, so I'm looking at what kind of business potential that might be, the monetization potential of the game, and how good the pitch overall is, so that if I would be sitting here as an investor, would I invest to them or not?
Like, you know, you have an idea, you have a potential, you have skills, and you really want to do that. And there is organizations like GameCamps who actually support you and gives you a ticket to this life. And I think that's really important. Also, all those teams who won, they were awarded with money prize that can be used to create a company and actually to develop the product to the final stage that can be pitched to the investors and earn money.
I think the best thing when you're about to participate in a game jam is do your prep work. Just do a little bit of preparation. Polish up your skills. Get a couple of new plugins for Unity that you know you might use. Just have some sort of base, which is kind of cheating, so you know I didn't tell this to you directly. But if you're prepared, you're going to have an advantage. And then if it's a theme-based game jam, where you have a specific theme, then you know that you have a couple of cards in your deck that you can play. So if you're prepared, you have an advantage. And then secondly, don't just look at the top charts. Don't go like, I'm going to make a game that's in the top 10 because it's selling. No, try to do something that you like, and try to do something that you know others would enjoy, other people like you.
I encourage everybody, even if you haven't made any game, come here. You will find something to do and you will see how fun it is, and you will see that you can earn their money. You will talk to other game developers who have already businesses in game development, and just come here, make games, help others, and it will be a lot of fun and really helpful for you.